My name is Olivia Carter, and for 11 years, I thought my marriage was real. Then one text changed everything. I don't love you anymore. I want a divorce. From now on, all communication goes through my lawyer. No warning, no explanation, just cold, final. At first, I thought it was a mistake. But the way he cut all contact felt premeditated, like he had been planning this for a long time. Then his lawyer panicked when I called. And that's when I knew this wasn't just a divorce. It was a setup. I stared at my phone, my hands trembling as the words blurred on the screen. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. My husband, my Ryan, had just ended our 11-year marriage over a text message. I tried calling him. No answer. I texted back. Nothing. My pulse pounded in my ears as I paced the living room, my mind racing. This didn't make sense. We weren't perfect, but we were solid, or at least I thought we were. No fights, no distance, no warning signs that he had already checked out, unless he had been checked out for a long time. A cold weight settled in my stomach as I reread his message, the way he phrased it, the lack of emotion, the fact that he immediately shut down any direct communication and pointed me to his lawyer. This wasn't just some impulsive decision. This was planned. I needed answers. With a deep breath, I dialed the number Ryan left in his text. The phone rang twice before a deep, polished voice answered. "This is Daniel Hayes. How can I help you?" I swallowed hard. "Daniel, this is Olivia Carter, Ryan's wife. He just sent me a text saying he wants a divorce." "You're his lawyer, right?" Silence. A long, heavy pause that sent a shiver down my spine. Then, in a sharp exhale, Daniel muttered under his breath, "You absolute idiot, Ryan." My grip tightened on the phone. "Excuse me?" His tone shifted, suddenly urgent. "Olivia, are you saying Ryan already told you about the divorce? Did he have you sign anything yet?" The hairs on the back of my neck stood up. "No, I haven't signed anything. Just the text." "Good," Daniel said quickly. "Do not, under any circumstances, sign anything. Don't agree to anything. And for the love of God, do not talk to Ryan." My stomach twisted. Why? What the hell is going on? Another pause. Then, in the background, I heard a chair scrape against the floor, papers shuffling, like someone just realized they'd made a massive mistake. Daniel lowered his voice, speaking fast. "I shouldn't be telling you this, but your husband has been keeping huge secrets from you. If he finalizes the divorce before you find out, he keeps everything." A chill ran down my spine. Ryan wasn't just leaving me. He was setting me up. My heart pounded as I gripped the phone tighter. Daniel's words echoed in my mind. "Your husband has been keeping huge secrets from you. If he finalizes the divorce before you find out, he keeps everything." What the hell was Ryan hiding? I took a shaky breath, trying to steady myself. "Daniel, you need to tell me exactly what's going on." He hesitated. "Olivia, I..." A door slammed on his end of the call. Muffled voices. More shuffling. Then he spoke again, lower, faster. "I need to go, but listen to me carefully. Do not sign anything. And whatever you do, start looking into Ryan's finances. You don't have much time." Then the line went dead. I stared at my phone, my skin crawling with unease. A divorce was one thing, but this sounded like a trap. A well-planned, perfectly executed betrayal. And I wasn't about to walk into it blind. But before we continue, I want to connect with you, my incredible viewers. Where are you watching from? Drop the flag of your country in the comments below. And hey, I know you might be watching this alone, but let me remind you, you are not alone. At least not right now, because I'm right here, telling the story with you. Now, back to Ryan's secrets. I needed answers, and I needed them fast. Ryan had always handled our finances, investments, savings, everything. I trusted him. I never had a reason not to. But now I was questioning everything. I grabbed my laptop and logged into our joint bank account. My stomach clenched as I scrolled through the transactions. Something was off. A lot was off. Money had been disappearing, slowly, methodically. Transfers, small at first, then larger, into an account I didn't recognize. An account under Ryan's name alone. I clicked on the most recent transfer, and my breath caught in my throat. $12.4 million. I blinked, certain I had misread. But no. There it was, a fortune, quietly siphoned away. My fingers trembled as I reached for my phone, scrolling through my contacts until I found the one person who might know something. Emily, Ryan's executive assistant. She picked up after 2 rings. "Olivia?" Her voice was surprised. "Is everything okay?" I swallowed hard. Emily, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me. Have you noticed anything strange about Ryan lately? Silence, a hesitation that sent a warning signal blaring in my mind. Then finally a sigh. I was hoping you wouldn't call me about this. A chill ran through me. What do you mean? She hesitated again, then lowered her voice. Ryan's been acting different, secretive. He's been having meetings off the books, making calls he won't let me schedule, and... She stopped. And what? I pushed. Another pause. Then finally she said it. Last week I overheard him talking to someone. He said, "Once she signs, it's all mine. She won't even know what she lost." The world around me seemed to tilt. Ryan had planned this, the whole thing. He had been moving money, shifting assets, hiding wealth, all while pretending everything was fine. And now he was trying to cut me out completely. I sucked in a sharp breath, my pulse pounding. Emily, do you have access to any of his recent financial records? Another hesitation. I might. Send them to me, I said firmly. Please. A long pause. Then finally, okay, I'll send what I can. I hung up and clenched my fists, my heart racing. Ryan thought he could outplay me. Thought I'd just accept his cold little text and sign away everything I had spent 11 years building with him. But now I was going to fight back. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my dimly lit living room, staring at my laptop, scrolling through every financial record Emily had sent me. Each document confirmed what I already knew. Ryan had been bleeding our accounts dry for months, funneling millions into his secret offshore fund. And if I had signed those divorce papers without realizing it, I would have walked away with nothing. I clenched my fists, my breath coming in slow, measured waves. I wasn't just dealing with a lying husband. This wasn't just a divorce. This was fraud. And now I had proof. By the time the sun rose, I had made my decision. I was done playing nice. Ryan wanted to shut me out, to manipulate me into signing away my rights. He was about to find out exactly who he underestimated. I grabbed my purse, stuffed the bank statements inside, and drove straight to Ryan's company penthouse. The building was sleek, modern, just like everything Ryan had ever wanted. It screamed power, success, control. Too bad he was about to lose all of it. The doorman recognized me and let me in without question. Ryan hadn't thought to revoke my access. Typical. He had been so confident I would just roll over and take whatever scraps he tossed my way. Not this time. I took the elevator to the top floor, my pulse steady, my hands wrapped tightly around the folder. I didn't knock. I used the keycard Ryan had forgotten to take back. The second I stepped inside, I saw him. Ryan was sitting on the couch, sipping whiskey, looking perfectly relaxed, like he hadn't just tried to ruin my life. But the moment his eyes landed on me, his expression twisted into irritation. "Olivia," he sighed, setting his glass down. "What the hell are you doing here?" I stepped forward and tossed the bank statements onto the table. He barely glanced at them. "What's this supposed to be?" I folded my arms. $12.4 million. That's what it's supposed to be, Ryan. For the first time, his face paled. I smiled, slow and sharp. "You really thought I wouldn't find out?" He let out a short, forced laugh. "Jesus, Olivia, you're being dramatic. That money is ours," I cut in coldly. "Or at least half of it is legally mine. And yet, you've been funneling it into an account under your name alone. Tell me, Ryan, were you planning to leave me with nothing? Was that the goal?" His jaw tightened. I took another step closer. Or was this always the plan? Lie to my face, pretend everything was fine, then blindside me at the last second. He exhaled sharply, running a hand through his hair. "Look, Olivia." "No," I snapped. "You don't get to talk your way out of this. I know everything. I've seen every transfer, every hidden asset, every shady offshore account you thought you could keep from me." His eyes darkened. "You have no idea what you're doing." I leaned in, lowering my voice to a deadly whisper. "No, Ryan, you have no idea what's coming." He opened his mouth to respond, but I didn't give him the chance. I grabbed my bag, turned on my heel, and walked away. This wasn't just a fight over money anymore. This was war. 2 weeks later, we were in court. Ryan sat across from me, his jaw tight, his expensive lawyer whispering something in his ear. He had always been composed, always confident, but today, I saw something new in his eyes. Fear, good. Because for the first time, he wasn't the one in control. The courtroom was silent except for the rustle of papers as the judge sifted through the thick stack of documents my lawyer, Daniel, had submitted. Bank statements, wire transfers, shell companies, offshore accounts. Every move Ryan had made to deceive me, every lie he had told, was now laid bare under the unforgiving fluorescent lights of the courtroom. "Mr. Carter," the judge said, adjusting his glasses as he stared Ryan down, "would you like to explain why these assets were not disclosed in your initial divorce filing?" Ryan shifted uncomfortably. "Your Honor, the judge held up a document. "These transfers show large sums being moved to offshore accounts over the course of the last 2 years. During your marriage, accounts solely under your name." His gaze hardened. "You're aware that attempting to conceal assets in a divorce is considered fraud, correct?" A hush fell over the courtroom. My fingers tightened around the arms of my chair. I could feel Ryan's eyes darting toward me, but I didn't give him the satisfaction of looking back. His lawyer cleared his throat, scrambling to contain the damage. "Your Honor, my client was under the impression that these funds were personal earnings separate from marital assets." Daniel stood smoothly, cutting in before he could finish. "Personal earnings?" he echoed, shaking his head. "Your Honor, my client has been married to Mr. Carter for 11 years. She built a life with him, supported him, trusted him. And while she was believing in their marriage, he was methodically draining their shared wealth into secret accounts." He placed a firm hand on the evidence. "This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was calculated deception." The judge nodded, flipping through the statements again. "Given the evidence presented, I am inclined to rule in favor of Mrs. Carter. Not only is she entitled to half of all disclosed assets, but given the deliberate concealment, I am granting an additional financial settlement in her favor." Ryan's lawyer shot up. "Your Honor, we object." "Objection denied," the judge said sharply. He turned his gaze back to Ryan, who had gone rigid in his seat. "Mr. Carter, attempting to defraud your spouse of her rightful assets is a serious offense. Consider yourself lucky that I am allowing this to remain a civil matter, rather than escalating it to a criminal investigation." My heart pounded as I watched Ryan absorb the words. His jaw twitched. His fingers curled into fists. For years he had played his games, manipulated people, controlled every aspect of his life. But today he lost. I exhaled slowly, feeling the weight of months, years, of deception, betrayal, and manipulation finally lifting off my shoulders. Ryan, on the other hand, looked destroyed. His empire, his fortune, gone. His smug confidence, shattered. As the judge banged the gavel, signaling the end of the proceedings, I gathered my things, standing up with quiet dignity. I felt Ryan's eyes burning into me, heavy with unspoken words. Just as I turned to leave, his voice came low and bitter. "Olivia." I stopped, but I didn't turn. "Don't do this," he muttered, his tone hollow. "You already got what you wanted." I tilted my head, finally glancing at him over my shoulder. The man who once stood tall, powerful, untouchable, now looked small, defeated. I leaned in just enough for him to hear. "No, Ryan," I murmured. "You got what you deserved." His face twisted with something between anger and regret, but I didn't wait for him to respond. I walked out of that courtroom with my head held high, and for the first time in a long, long time, I was free. But that wasn't the end of Ryan's downfall. Word spread fast. Ryan Carter, the golden boy of Wall Street, the man who once held everything, was now a disgrace. Investors pulled out of his firm overnight. Clients lost trust. His carefully built empire started to crumble. And the final blow? Vanessa. The woman he had thrown me away for. The woman he thought would stand by him, live the lavish life he promised her. She left him the second the money ran out, blocked his number, moved on. Ryan had given up everything for her. And in the end, she left him with nothing. I found out through Emily that he had been forced to sell the penthouse, the same one where he once sneered at me, so confident that he had already won. Now, gone. Poetic justice. As for me, life had never been better. With my settlement, I bought a beautiful home, not a flashy penthouse, not some cold, oversized mansion, but a place that felt like home, a place where I could finally breathe. No more walking on eggshells, no more wondering if the man sleeping beside me was plotting against me. I was finally at peace. Then, one morning, as I sat on my porch sipping coffee, my phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number, Ryan. For a moment, I just stared at it. "Olivia, can we talk?" I huffed out a quiet laugh. Talk. Now he wanted to talk. Where was that energy when he spent a year stealing from me? When he tried to blindside me into signing away my future? I typed out a short response. "No need. I've already said everything I needed to." Then, with a small, satisfied smile, I blocked his number for good. This story isn't just about revenge. It's about justice and resilience. Olivia didn't let betrayal break her. She fought back, exposed the truth, and won not just the case, but her freedom. What do you think? Comment 2 if you loved it. Comment 7 if you didn't. If you enjoy stories like this, hit like and subscribe for more. You won't want to miss what's next.